Welcome to the Squared Circle Jerks podcast. We are back after a little bit of a hiatus. Life has not been so good, so let's focus on the good wrestling.
Lucha.
With me, as always, is my co-host Byron. Say hi to
Azteca Jr.
Byron Azteca Jr. And we're going to talk about season 4, episode 7 of Lucha Underground.
Oh, we're not going to do all 3 episodes that we have watched?
Let's just go with episode 7 for now. We can reference things that we need to reference from prior episodes as we go through.
But we got Joey Ryan and Cortez Castro.
Okay, Cortez Castro got sacrificed to the gods, and Joey Ryan is doing Joey Ryan things and lost to Evilise.
That is correct. And Katrina looks extremely attractive.
Katrina is extremely attractive, as is Melissa Santos, as is Evilise, as is all the women on this. And also, even Mary Pose is looking pretty good. Them titties. Holy moly.
That is correct. Desmond X won in his fucking debut
against Paul London. I'm still not really behind the Paul London loss because, okay, so to recap the storyline real quick. Dating back to last season, the White Rabbit Tribe has been trying to worship Masquerita Sagrada. And he finally this time takes them to meet the White Rabbit, who turns out to be Killer Cross. Killer Cross has them kill Masquerita Sagrada, going on a dark trend, a storyline twist of epic proportions. And the payoff is that Paul London loses to Desmond X in a Gift of the Gods qualifier match. I'm a little underwhelmed by that. A little bit.
Yeah, there's no reason to do that. They could have had him lose and then splice that particular segment into the next episode that he was involved with.
Exactly. It feels like you went with this big, very dramatic character turn, and he just keeps losing. So
yeah, it's almost as if Vince was booking this.
Yeah. And this is nothing against Desmond X, who I think is an amazing talent, and we'll talk more about him as we go through this. But you gave a debut and a victory over Paul London. You did this massive character turn. You did this storyline development. Maybe the biggest storyline development since the debut of fucking Matanza. And it really didn't go anywhere.
Correct.
So yeah, not super keen on that. Let's talk about this episode.
I suppose if you want to totally ignore the fact that Pentagon Dark defeated Cage in a title match.
Yeah, but that was kind of expected, to be honest. Cage not getting his arm broke was more the surprise.
That is probably also true.
So we open up with the announcement that the doctors have saved Famous B's leg.
Yes.
And we should send him our best wishes at 423 Get Fame. So, Famous B will probably be back, probably continue his feud with Jake Strong, the Savage. And this led us into this match with Sammy Guevara versus the Savage Jake Strong. And I thought this was going to be a complete squash, and it was not.
No, it was a good match. Sammy Guevara still looks like he's wearing lipstick 24/7, but whatever.
Little bit. Guevara got to do some cool things, some cool aerials. Strong got to beat him anyways, collect the leg, collect his trophy. Every time Jake Strong comes out, there's like a twinkle in his eye. It's like, this is what it feels like to be over. I didn't know what this felt like. They're doing a fantastic job with Jake Strong.
Yeah, Jake Strong, a.k.a. your boy,
Jack Swagger.
Oh, sorry, wrong guy.
So yeah, that storyline's going really well. I'm wondering where it's going to go. Is this going to bring back Tejano maybe? Maybe bring back Dr. Wagner? Or do we get someone new that Famous B sends after him?
I'm in favor of all of those things, especially if we get the unmasked Dr. Wagner, as they are doing. They've been doing in AAA for like a long time.
Yeah, that's true.
What I would like to see is me stop yawning. Because it's 10:15. But I would like to see Famous B have some sort of weird like really malicious, devious streak, because he keeps, it's pretty obvious he keeps trying to schmooze these guys, and they keep leaving or betraying him or whatever. And I just want to see
except for Dr. Wagner.
Yeah, but I just want to see something out of Famous B that's kind of like a Don King, Dana White, like retardedly obvious. People can see through it a mile away, but apparently the retards actually involved with the process just don't get it. That kind of thing. They're abusive, they're manipulative, they're controlling, they're criminals, but somehow Mike Tyson fell for it. Everybody fucking fell for it. Fucking your boy McGuggenheim is gonna fall for it because he's a dumb fucking retard that thinks he's really clever, and that's when he falls into the pit of Dana White's fucking I'm just like, I'm a guy of the people, and I'm a guy for the fighters.
I'm gonna throw $1 million birthday for my 16-year-old son.
Yeah, even though
instead of paying the fighters,
everything. That kind of thing. I want that kind of thing out of Mr. 423 Get Fame.
423 Get Fame.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm expecting too much. But that's kind of, I want something. And they're always good in Lucha about like developing actual characters. Even if it's something like your boy the Mariachi, who has had, 4 different gimmicks now?
He was El Mariachi Loco, then he's on 3. El Mariachi Loco, then he was part of the Disciples of Destruction, and now, of course, he is Saltador.
Yeah, so, I mean, he's had at least 3, probably 17 gimmicks by now, but there's always an arc. If it's a short arc, a long arc, a medium, whatever. I want a new thing out of Mr. B.
Yeah, no, I could definitely get behind that as well. He definitely needs some kind of change after the whole Savage thing went down. So that's for sure.
Yeah. Whether he needs more muscle weight, what if we have like the return of Big Rick? That would be a thing that I would be highly in favor of.
I'd be down with Big Rick. Actually, I think those two feuded with WWE. So Lucha Underground, do it better. Yeah, Lucha Underground has done a great job of using WWE cast-offs, and Jack Swagger is just the latest example of this.
They are mostly machines.
True. Then we had Vinny Massaro come out to the ring, and
fan favorite Vinny Massaro.
Antonio comes out to give him a complete rundown. I examined every contract very closely, and you are a sorry, greasy excuse for a man. But I said to myself, if Dario kept this guy around, there must be something. He must have seen the inner talent. But after seeing you in Aztec Warfare, I've decided that the only thing that I have to do is order you a pizza.
Correct.
You got a pizza guy come in. There's pineapple on the pizza, though, which is, of course, unacceptable. Although I like pineapple on the pizza.
I was going to say, listen, you get yourself, here's the play. You order a couple of pizzas. You order like the big meaty, cheesy, deluxe, super duper thing, and then you get yourself a nice Hawaiian. And you get extra cheese, and you get hot banana peppers on that shit. Damn, son, is that good.
Well, yeah, hot banana peppers is on everything is a good idea. So anyway,
cold banana.
So anyways, we know where this is going. Matanza's going to come out and sacrifice Vinny Massaro. Antonio says, sacrifice to the gods!
I'm not going to lie, I marked out when he fucking sacrificed to the gods on the pizza.
Yeah, that was good. Also, it was interesting to see Vinny get some offense in.
Vincenzo. Yeah, Vincenzo did a good job. I like the you made the Yano reference, but it was a very Yano-esque, like hit the ropes about 6 or 7 times and slowly run out of gas until he's having a heart attack.
But anyways, both him and the pizza guy get sacrificed to the gods. Pizza guy went for the wallet in Vinny's pants, and that was a bad idea because that just brought him in front of Matanza. And what Matanza sees, Matanza sacrifices.
Welcome to Pizza Underground.
So the victim list now includes, for Matanza, we have Mr. Spectacular Jesse Goddard.
Correct.
We have sacrificed Cortez Castro, a.k.a. Hickey Hayes.
See.
And now we've sacrificed Vincenzo Mazzaro. Who do we think's next? Who do you think's next? Maybe we bring out our Hennis again?
Yeah, it's got to be like one of those Lucha Reject cast-offs, like our Hennis. It's not going to be Aerostar because he's part of a plot.
Presumably part of a plot.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of anybody I'm missing that could be, disposable.
We could always bring out El Mariachi Loco to kill off the El Mariachi Loco character.
That's true. He has a few disguises.
What if
he sacrifices every single one of those personas a week?
Well, we'd get 3 weeks. He could sacrifice El Mariachi, he could sacrifice his Katrina persona, and then Saltador.
No, you gotta keep Saltador.
True.
And then
You need the White Rapids.
Jack Evans isn't doing anything right now.
Jack Evans is feuding with X-Olicious.
Oh, yeah.
And might get killed by Ricky Mandel. Can I volunteer for a guest spot on Lucha Underground, being manipulated by a doll into killing Jack Evans?
I will be a Mandel marionette for one episode because I get to cripple Jack Evans.
If I may quote Simpsons, tell my wife my last thoughts were of her. Blinding and crippling Jack Evans. So, yeah. Anyways, moving on, because there's not a ton to the logic to the sacrificial storyline.
Yeah.
Most of this episode was dedicated to, of course, the Gift of the Gods title. And we were expecting a 6-man between Mac, Dragon Azteca Jr., Son of Havoc, King Cuerno, Desmond X, and Ivelisse. I guess that's a 5-man, 1-woman, or baddest bitch in the place match. Antonio spoiled that. He comes out and says, there's only going to be 3 of you competing for the Gift of the Gods title. And we're going to get a trios match. So he lets Havoc and Ivelisse, because they've had success, 2-time trios champion, if I'm not mistaken, yes, between them and Angelico. And, they get to pick a partner. Of course, they picked the Mac, because he's Havoc's, tag team partner. He got Havoc a spot in this match. He eliminated himself to let Havoc last week have the choice to eliminate Mil Muertes from the match. I must say, not the most logical choice for Ivelisse, actually, because what happens when it gets to the 3-way with them? Ivelisse is totally the odd woman out.
Correct.
And that means they're going up against Dragon Azteca Jr., Desmond's X, and King Cuerno. Minor gripe about Desmond X. He's Desmond X, but he's still got Xavier on his trunks. That's, I don't know. It's a bit weird.
Real name, Devin Everhart.
Devin Everhart. It's a solid name, actually.
Not to be confused with your boy Teddy Neverhart.
Ah, yes. The man who firmly believes that being a heart has actually hurt his career, which is a massive steaming pile of bullshit.
I mean, hurting your career has probably hurt your career.
Being Teddy Hart has hurt your career.
Correct.
And it's not the heart part, to be clear. And if you don't want to be known as Teddy Hart, just go by Teddy Adonis. It's your fucking name anyways.
Your boy Desmond X, a.k.a. Desmond Xavier, a.k.a. Desmond Everhart, 2-time CZW Tag Team Champion.
Mm-hmm. Always gotta love those CZW ties.
PWG Tag Team Champion 1 time.
Who do you win it with?
Same guy, Zachary Wentz.
Zachary Wentz.
Who I have no idea who the fuck that is.
You should look him up. I think you'd like him.
I think he smells like tacos.
Probably not. He's not Mexican.
Maybe he just rubs himself down with tacos.
It's possible. So the match gets kicked off, and we got Killshot up on top of the ramp looking down with, pure hatred and focus on Havoc and the Mac. Who do we think replaces him in the team, or do they just lose the titles because of him? Because Like, there's only so long we can go with this, like, really reluctant tag team partner storyline.
Yeah, what they'll do is so he pump kicked fucking Son of Havoc in the face when it's pretty somewhat obvious that he was probably maybe aiming for your boy, what's his nuts with the thing?
Millions of Mortises.
So they'll be, the next 4 episodes from now when they're back on TV, they'll be, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't, I'm sorry, I meant to kick that guy, not you, and then there'll be a fracas, and then like 4 more episodes later, they'll be back on TV, and it'll be, oh yeah, no, it's okay, yeah, and then they'll have one successful title defense, and then they'll lose the titles, and then nobody will care.
Well, I mean, if it leads to a Killshot Havoc feud, I could definitely dig that.
I guess.
Because it's been a while since Havoc had a proper, like, blood feud.
Mostly the spleen feuds at this point.
Anyways, Max starts off this match, like, really hot, gets his team up there, and tags in Ivelisse. Ivelisse gets worked over pretty nicely by Desmond X, who proves his worth early on in this match. And then the faces kind of have control again. It looks like Son of Havoc is going to do his thing. He's going to get the pin. We're going to get Havoc versus Ivelisse versus Mac. And Cuerno kind of won a little bit out of nowhere.
Very Vince booking.
A little
you
bit.
Got your ass kicked the entire match. Mysteriously, you won at the last second.
Yeah, it was a bit weird. Kind of my booking decision faux pas of the day. Although, on the bright side, I actually do very much prefer Cuerno versus Azteca versus Desmond X final for the title. I do actually like that. Anyways, Mil Muertes comes out because, of course, last week Mil Muertes was excluded from this match. He was the 7th participant, and the Mac, by virtue of winning the Battle Royale, got to kick him out of the match with the great line of, "The Mac is not usually scared of no man, but Mil Muertes, you scary. So sorry, you're out." And he powerbombed Mac into the apron, not very well, if we're being honest. Havoc tried to make the save, did not work. Killshot comes down, goes, it looks like he goes for Mil Muertes, hits Havoc, puts him down, and then Mil puts down Havoc, so he's taking out the entire Trios champions. Which is fine, because it's freaking Mil. And he is, what would you say, second or third biggest monster on this thing? Like, is it Matanza Cage in him, or is it Matanza him in Cage?
Well, they're pushing Cage pretty hard at this point, so he's probably third.
And, so that does the trick. So we get the finals here. It's a 3-way match between Dragon Azteca Jr., King Cuerno, and Desmond X. I thought Cuerno was the MVP of this match. He did a fantastic Frankensteiner on Azteca. Or was it Desmond X he did it to? Anyways, he did a Frankensteiner on one of them, threw them into the other guy, got to do like basically a drop-down pin position. Pretty cool.
It was Desmond onto the other one.
Yes. And also got to do a double submission spot, which is always cool. I'm always down for that. He had the leg lock on Azteca, and he had a shoulder lock on Desmond X simultaneously while holding him up. It's kind of nice when you get the big man, a big man who can really work with the little guys. Even did his, of course, patented Hunter's Arrow suicide dive, which best suicide dive since Austin Aries repetitively almost killing himself in ROH.
I would say that Tozawa's got the best suicide dive right now.
That's true. Tozawa does have a damn good one. And of course, let's not forget our boy. Why am I blanking on his name?
Chris Benoit.
No, Kenny Omega's boy.
Chris Benoit.
That's not Benoit! Benoit had a terrible suicide dive. And a terrible headbutt.
Also, short-term, great stuff. Long-term, not good.
Honestly, even short term, the diving headbutt has never been a great thing, because I always remember it's like you sell it like you're dead, which you should.
He always oversold it, and in retrospect, he undersold the overselling. Because, let's not get into that right now. But
yeah. Hey,
Kenny Omega's...
You opened the box that was Chris Benoit's Kota Ibushi. God damn it, why could I not remember?
I'm going to go with Flip Gordon, but okay.
No. Kota Ibushi has a sweet-ass suicide dive.
I would say Flip Gordon has the best dive to the outside in the business, period, right now.
Have I seen Flip Gordon do like an actual suicide dive to the outside?
I don't know about suicide dive, but he's done like stuff off the. Like flip up to the top turnbuckle and then do the dive to the outside.
Yeah, Flip Gordon's aerials.
He does a weird thing where he hits this peak. He does like a Michael Jordan thing, where he readjusts his body on the way up, and then when he gets to the peak of the dive, he's in a particular position, and it looks like he literally hovers there and then dives. Mm-hmm. It's this weird body geometry thing that he does, and it's great. Fantastic.
Oh yeah, no, I mean Flip Gordon, I'm not including him just because I can't recall seeing him do a specific suicide dive. But if we're talking about aerials, dives in general, Flip Gordon is on the motherfucking list. Like he is that good. He is amazing. He's got some things to put together before he's like a real top-notch wrestler, but the physical ability, the aerial ability right there, if he can parry that with even like average psychology and average ability to tell a story, I will bet dollars to donuts that we have 7 5-star matches in his career at least.
Yes.
So enough sucking off Flip Gordon. We're going to talk about Lucha Underground. Right. So yeah, this match was really, really good. And everyone got their stuff in. Everyone got the chance to shine. Desmond Xavier doing some good work with the palm strikes. Shotei, baby!
Indeed.
And just really looking really good. Cuerno MVP of the match. Azteca gets the win with a pretty sweet-ass victory roll off the top rope. That's a good finish. I like that. And Dragon Azteca Jr. is now the Gift of the Gods champion to go with his reign as a Trios champion. And I mean, I guess the one thing about this is he is totally not taking that belt off Pentagon. So,
not without some major story shit.
Yeah, it's kind of mind you.
So we're on episode 7 of 22. They could totally take the next 14 episodes and build him into this thing, and then take the title off Pentagon. But it's probably not going to happen.
I would be intrigued just because there's a feud going on in Impact Wrestling between Pentagon and Jeremiah Crane right now. If Jeremiah Crane were to take the title off him, the feud ends up spanning 2 promotions.
That'd be good. That
would be very, very interesting. But somehow Impact would fuck it up. Actually, I shouldn't say that. Competent people run Impact now. It's a lot of Scott D'Amore and Don Callis, and of course Jimmy Jacobs. So
Jimmy Jacobs and your boy Scott D'Amore.
Yeah. Yet I keep watching Impact Wrestling and going, I'm still not sold on this company. I'm just
Team Canada needs more Team Canada.
Yeah, bring back Team Canada would not be a bad idea.
Give me A1.
the Petey Williams and A1 and Johnny Devine, the 3 remaining Team Canada members not in WWE.
All right.
And
do you want to talk about the potential? Let's just say, what's the word I'm looking for? Work of Jericho. The work of Jericho. Sure. So on Twitter, somebody asked. I watched Slammiversary. I gotta say that the worst parts of it drug the best parts of it down to the point where I just thought the best parts of it were okay.
I could definitely see that point of view.
Yeah. The Pentagon Sami Callihan match was potentially great, but by the time I got there, I had to slog through meters of raw sewage.
And it's very weird that Impact still can't turn a corner because you've got people who should know how to put a product together.
Yeah, the Cage versus Seidel match was the worst thing I had ever seen.
I wouldn't go that far because I've seen some shit.
It's the worst thing I've ever seen. I've never seen anything worse than that.
Yeah, it was disturbingly bad when you consider that Cage and Seidel are, of course, both fantastic workers. So that should, like, that on paper, that should be a great match.
Yeah. So throughout the broadcast, not to shit on Impact, although I'd love to at this point. Throughout the broadcast, your boy Callis was talking up Jericho by name on the broadcast. And somebody asked Jericho straight up, like, would you go and work for Impact? He's like, of course.
It pays bills.
So, like, is he working everybody?
Trying to figure out why he would want to go to Impact. I mean, I guess it's not technically American shows because, of course, it's
Canada. It's Toronto.
Canada. Ottawa.
Which is barely even... Is it Ottawa? I thought it was Toronto.
Ottawa. It's Ottawa, I'm pretty sure. Unless they moved from where they originally were.
I don't know.
Well, I'll look this up real quick, but continue.
It's somewhere in Ontario. Virtually Quebec.
Definitely not Quebec.
It's totally Quebec at this point. So, yeah, basically somebody on Twitter asked Jericho, would you go to Impact? And he's like, of course. So that leads, apparently, and to rehash and backtrack a little bit, your boy Vince was okay with it. Not only okay, but apparently extremely supportive of Jericho going to New Japan and having a match with Omega. But when he got into a program with Naito, and especially when he got on a second match and took the title off Naito, apparently Vince is predictably furious because Vince is retarded. He's 1,000,000 years old and doesn't remember what he had for breakfast, even though breakfast was literally 10 seconds ago. So, I don't know, like, is it Jericho recognizes that Vince is completely senile at this point and won't remember what he does 10 seconds from now? B, does Jericho recognize that he could legitimately help his friend Callis bring up a whole new promotion?
Which would be good for all the boys.
All the boys. Or C, is this a giant work? And Callis, he and Callis have been in communication. Like, hey, buddy boy who I do a podcast with, I'm going to mention your name on broadcast a lot. And it would be really great on Twitter if you could just acknowledge that and get us some notoriety, and it's all a work.
Could be both, to be honest. Could be both. But if anything that gives Impact more notoriety, and if they can put together a good product, I'll be very happy with it.
Yeah. Also, the Austin Aries versus Moose match was not very good.
They are. Honestly, I didn't expect that to be very good. I just think that those two guys, as a package, is not a great plan. I like Moose, and obviously I like Aries. Not so much the person Austin Aries, but I like the wrestler Austin Aries.
Gee.
And I wasn't expecting great things out of that match. It just wasn't.
Yeah.
Anyways, they are apparently doing filming back in the States in Orlando. And it was Ottawa they were filming in Canada.
Yeah, where they were paying literal acting agencies to hire people to be in the crowd.
Hire extras, basically, to fill out the crowd.
What the fuck?
Well, I mean, you gotta fill that crowd somehow.
I guess.
But realistically, just comp the tickets at that point. Jesus Christ.
Pretty much. Just let people in.
It would legitimately be cheaper.
Yep.
Yeah, so that was our sidetrack in Impact. So we finish off Lucha Underground with Marty the Moth Martinez, who is one of our favorite characters. I think I could safely say that.
Marshall the Bluff.
And Marty is sleeping on the floor of, I guess, his swanky apartment, because of course we know that Marty is actually rich despite the attire.
I was gonna go for the family estate because
rich. that too. He's being pulled. We get to see a female with boots, and then we figure out that it's Mariposa, which was the guess. And they have a brief conversation about Marty's dreams, which involve giving Melissa Santos a necklace made of the teeth of Pentagon Jr. And her basically saying, you know why I beat you up at Ultima Lucha? Or not Ultima, Aztec Warfare, pardon me. It was because you need to focus on the correct things. You need to forget about Melissa. You need to forget about Pentagon's teeth and think about the title.
Your focus needs more focus.
Focus needs more focus. So, anyways, he seems to be focused on the title now and gave a evil, maniacal laugh. And yeah, Marty the Moth character development more.
Dun dun dun. No, I'm a little torn about. Do I want him? I want him to still keep teasing Melissa, but I kind of don't want him to go full on psycho abductor, that kind of nonsense.
I think Melissa needs to be left alone for a little bit after Phoenix's death.
Yeah, well, but then here's the flip flop on that. Now that you've mentioned that, and my brain does all kinds of third gear cycles. He starts going full psycho again, and then Phoenix rises from the dead and comes back.
I think the Phoenix rising from the dead is pretty much a given. That's on the horizon. Motive. I think he has motive.
And anybody who doesn't immediately go and listen to Rise of the Phoenix by Tenacious D right now is a loser.
I'm not sure I could go that far, but okay. So later on this week, we'll be watching some G1 action, and we're going to give you our G1 report. Probably
we're going to start with the American G1 special and go forward, or what's the deal?
We'll kind of watch. We'll kind of think of good matches people have told us to watch. Apparently Toru Yano's matches are must see for this entire G1.
And Kenny Omega. He had 2 straight 5 stars back to back. But
Kenny was an absolute given. Yano has been the pleasant surprise of serious Yano, which is
serious
very
Yano.
Intriguing.
I'm not sure how to take that,
but it's gonna be interesting. So yeah, we'll probably watch not everything. We'll skip matches that we're just not interested in, but we'll try and watch as much of it as we can. We'll give you.
We'll probably stick to the tournament matches rather than the.
No, we're totally skipping the multi-man stuff. Fuck that shit.
As long as Mike can stop racing or playing Scrotum 2.
Dude, if you give me something to do, I just tell Sean no. He's as we have been filming this, he has been messaging me to ask me to play Dota. So
listen. You can fully establish the fact at this point that I want to watch as much G1 as fucking humanly possible.
Yep. Oh, and I guess we should talk about it. New NXT champion.
Yeah, your boy Tommy the Chompers. That I was. Hold on, I have notes for this. I got notes. Hold on, hold your horses.
Okay, he's got notes. Everybody, get ready.
All right, so I watched the match. I wrote some stuff down. Basically, I wrote down my initial impressions, and then I wrote down my finale impressions because I was just watching the match. Not really, though, which you'll find out through the notes. So your boy Tommy the Chompers comes out, no theme, all the booze in the world. This is the best. That is the best heel thing that is going in wrestling for the past 20 years.
Yep.
End of story. You can't disagree. If you do disagree, you're just wrong. And please just acknowledge that and move on with your life.
Possibly the early days of the Suzuki Gun faction, but that's about it.
It's just random goon shit. oh, we're gonna get in there, we're gonna stomp a bunch of guys to death, blah 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 blah.
Well, that's why I said the early Suzuki Gun stuff, where they were like literally be invading other promotions and stuff. That was interesting. But yeah, now it's become just goon stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, but this is the best thing in the world. He just comes out. He just walked. They put his name up on the fucking Titantron.
This is how Dolph Ziggler should have worked with his theme music thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yes and no. I still stick to the fact that I like what they've done with his theme song, but they've executed it wrong. Because he had this one time where he came out. It's... I can't remember how it goes. Like, it's been so long since I watched main roster shit. So they hit a little bit of his thing, and then they go... Oh, no, they hit the record scratch first, right?
Yeah.
So they hit the record scratch, and he just walks out. Between record scratch and the next time the music hits, he needs something to do. He needs somebody to interact with, and one time they got it perfect. And I think it was Kurt Angle was out there, and he just walked out there and kind of gave Kurt Angle some of a non-verbal business, and then his music hit, and that's perfect. That is exactly how that's supposed to work every time out of the gate. Something
probably fell ass backwards into it that time, though.
Yeah, but that's how I assumed it would work from the beginning. As soon as I saw him do that thing, and as soon as I heard that music, I assumed they were leading up to that. But you're probably right. They probably fucked it all up and then ass backwards their way into it. I maintain that that's exactly perfect. It's totally perfect, and they're doing it wrong every time. But this coming out to no theme, and everybody can go literally suck a dick, is the best heel shit, period. I also liked his jacket. His jacket was awesome.
His jacket is always awesome.
They also spoiled the whole match.
Yeah.
Because WWE has pretty much clinically conditioned me. If it's a main event match, all I have to do is look at the time and then stop paying attention. I've got a main event match. Cool. How much time is left? 17 minutes. Great. I'm going to go take a piss. I might jerk off. Make sure to wax my eyebrows. I might go, polish the tea set, which is not a euphemism. I might go just dust the cobwebs off of the top of the TV. I'll be back in 15 minutes. Because the last 2 minutes are the only thing that matters in a WWE match. So consequently, I was paying attention to 15% of this entire match, maybe? It was playing the whole time. I got my headphones on. I've got 3 monitors. It's on the right-hand side of the right-hand monitor. I'm not really doing much except dicking around and checking stuff out on Imager while the match is going on. And I couldn't be bothered to fucking watch. At all. So, while this match should be getting big praise from me, and should be getting some over-the-top kind of exposition and shit like that, it's not going to get any of that. Because WWE has shit itself into a tiny corner, and I cannot be bothered to pay attention to their ridiculously fuck-all booking.
Yeah, I mean, I feel that, although NXT, I think, does a notably better job of it.
Yeah, but I still have the same reaction.
Yeah, I mean, that is, I suppose, what 30 years of crap will do to you.
The week before, or it was 2 or 3 weeks before, they had the Mustache Mountain versus Undisputed match. Mm-hmm. And I was initially having the exact same reaction. I couldn't fucking be bothered. I knew that the heels were gonna win in North America because they're American and Canadian and can't care. But they did something in the match, and I would really have to go back and pay attention to what the turning point was. But there was something in that match that made me stop what I was doing and really, really, really pay attention. And nothing like that happened in this match. Nothing. I didn't give a shit until the last 5 minutes of the match, which is better than most WWE main events, I'm going to tell you. Because usually you get 1 minute and 30 seconds to 2 minutes of my time if I really fucking can't be bothered. There was something in this match that didn't flip the switch. I knew that Ciampa was going to cheat to win. And he cheated to win. And I was right. But the last 5 minutes, up until right before the end, which was the shittiest ending you could possibly do, because it was just like, I magically win! Which is Vince's way of doing every fucking thing. Because your boy Ciampa had a strong opener, followed by getting his ass kicked, followed by a good comeback, followed by a small amount of getting his ass kicked, followed by, that's the end. And I can't care. I literally, it's not that I don't care, it's not like I couldn't have paid more attention and critiqued this better. WWE has made this to the point where I cannot care. I am incapable of caring. I can't do it.
There's a cupboard of fucks, and it is barren.
Correct. I think the only thing in WWE I care about really is takeovers. That's about it. Like, I really enjoy kind of picking apart and hoping for the best for 205 Live. I like that. I enjoy that. I enjoy, gonna say 40% of NXT, because 60% of it is them throwing spaghetti at the wall and it falling all into the compost heap, But 40% of it's really good. They usually save the best shit for the main event, which I usually pay attention to, but this was booked so Vince-like that I knew what was going to happen. And it happened. And I was massively disappointed that I was right. I was so angry that I was right. Why was I right about this?
I'm kind of disappointed to hear that reaction, because I was very meh on this match. I was very, very not into it, but I kind of chalked that up to what's going on in real life. Those who do not know, my mom passed away about 2 weeks ago, and that has been why we've been off the air. Very sudden, tragic stuff. And it's been hard for me to get really into wrestling, so I kind of chalked it up to that. But to hear you kind of have a very similar reaction, kind of troubling.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say every 4 months there's an episode of NXT that this happens. And somebody dips deep into their Vince well of the shittiest thing you could possibly do. And I don't mean like, oh, the heel the heel does a thing and cheats and wins. I'm talking about just like the wrongest booking you can possibly. There's no reason why Tommy Chompers gets to break, A, gets to win the title, B, gets to break the winning streak, the undefeatable winning streak of Aleister Black. There's no, what is Tommy Chompers the new Carmella? What the fuck? What the absolute fuck?
It's kind of weird in the sense that I like the idea of Ciampa as champion. I just feel like the irony is that the Ciampa Gargano feud and the greatness that it is and the tremendous development has come at the very wrong time for the NXT title scene. Because you had Aleister Black, the winning machine, the unstoppable killing machine,
Dude, they put him on main event after his first month in the company.
Mm-hmm. And it's just not well timed. Like I think Aleister Black's title reign we're gonna look back on with like kind of this haze, this disappointment because of the timing of the Gargano Ciampa feud.
Yeah, absolutely. Like he's the guy that got he's the imagine if Mike Tyson won the title and then he defended it twice and then random dude number 4 happened to score a big body shot to win, and then he and this other guy feuded over the title for another 6 years. Where would Mike Tyson be today?
Frankly, possibly in a better spot because his success may have been actually detrimental in the long run.
That is true. Mentally, financially, probably physically, you're not wrong about any of that stuff. But in the history books of boxing, and I'm going to kind of nudge that towards wrestling, like Aleister Black, okay, cool. Aleister Black gets to be the next jobber, lower mid-card jobber on probably Sunday Night Heat.
Yeah, probably, because we've, of course, been through this, that the NXT call-up record with main roster has been really bad. Not so bad on the women's side, but that's because
Asuka.
Well, yeah, Asuka's been horrible. I didn't say it was all good. I said
let's throw
said the record
all the
was
money
better.
in the garbage and pee on it.
I said the record was better because they're doing good things with Becky Lynch right now. They've done some okay things with Sasha Banks, largely treated Charlotte well.
Well, and then they brought up the last bunch before Ember Moon. They brought up and they put them right in a full mainstream faction. So yeah, I mean they brought up 3 at once, put them in a faction, and made them relevant immediately.
Yeah, but on the men's side, you really just look no further than frankly, Authors of Pain, Sanity.
They called up
Apollo Crews.
They called up Sanity and Authors of Pain and didn't have them on TV for 4 months.
Yeah, Apollo Crews is probably the worst call-up. Bobby Roode getting called up and getting completely miscast, and they're still trying to push him as a face.
Yeah.
Shinsuke Nakamura's come up, had some very good things, won the Royal Rumble, etc., but he's making the best out of it and doing some things that make me laugh and make me enjoy it. But, again, tremendously misused talent.
Yep.
Sami Zayn, largely completely misused, outside of when they basically let him and Kevin Owens rip shit apart. Kevin Owens has been relatively well used, actually. Credit where it is due. But yeah, the NXT call... I've said this before, is that NXT in a lot of ways is not really a success story that people like to make it out to be. Because I've always said is that, number one, I have to ask the serious question of how many success stories can we attribute literally to NXT?
Yeah.
How many wrestlers have they made from scratch and developed? It's kind of like when people ask me, for example, I crap on Vanessa Bourne all the time. And sometimes people are kind of trying to defend her like, well, she's got to learn, she's going to develop, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I'm like, what track record do they have that guarantees that she is going to develop?
Yeah.
The answer is there isn't one. And then you have the problem of when they do leave NXT, and if NXT has done a good job with them, the main roster has been, generally speaking, unable to make any real positive utilization of most of them. There are exceptions. There are your Braun Strowmans, who really wasn't even in NXT. Your Elias, who we don't like, but there's a segment of the population that definitely do.
It's just so bad and see-through.
There were for a long time they did good things with Bray Wyatt, but then they completely ruined him. And of course, let's not forget, sticking with the Bray Wyatt family, Bo Dallas, who's been handled terribly.
The Bray Wyatt tip by proxy. I don't know if you saw the latest video from your boy Matt Hardy on YouTube's.
I don't think I did.
He mentioned something on Twitter about us in capital letters changing. And on the YouTubes, he put out about a minute. I think it's a little over a minute. And essentially, he's got a two-face coin.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got the light side and the dark side. And he basically turned the coin to the dark side.
Oh. Dark Matt Hardy. Heel Matt Hardy. So this will be closer to the final deletion Matt Hardy, I imagine.
Delete!
And of course, if Eddie Kingston could be worked into this, that would be great.
Indeed.
I think that's all we have to talk about now, unless you got something more that you want to delve into.
Not really. The one bit of news that I've tried to keep forward in my brain while I have hiccups. Oh God, I'm dying. Call ambulance.
Dial 911 and then wait.
So, the one bit of... oh God, what the fuck?
What's this? Normally I'm the one that gets the hiccups.
I know. You're the tongue-snapping guy. Now I'm the hiccup guy. The one thing I have it's not really news, but it's like We Got Worked. Welcome to the We Got Worked edition of news. The whole he broke Lars Sullivan's jaw thing. They just put up an x-ray of somebody with a broken jaw. That was not his jaw. They're looking to make him into like the next Braun Strowman, like unkillable Braun Strowman type character.
That's a little disappointing.
Yeah, I was on a couple of different levels. So yeah, there's no broken jaw for ya boy, the Colorado Avalanche. So this is
the worst news work I have ever seen.
I'm gonna piss on this bitch. And in other news, Carmella took a bump in the lip and she's injured and I'm not sure if she can wrestle.
Allow me to answer the question. She can't wrestle. She's never been able to wrestle.
Correct. So yeah, that's about it. That's all the news that is news that isn't news at all. So piss off and bring me beer.
Get off of Byron's lawn, and we'll talk to you next week. We'll be doing Lucha Underground, and we'll be talking about the G1. Boom.
For the French viewers, it is the G.